Close your eyes, please. Stunnvanti divestave Vede Sangapadakramopanishadehi Gayantiyam samagaha Dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa Pashyantiyam yoginaha Yasyantam vidusura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha. Verse number 14. Namam karmani limpanti Name karma phale spruham Iti mamyo bhijanati Karma virna savadhyate Evam gyatva krutam karma Purvairapi mumukshubhihi Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam Purvai purvataram krutam Kim karma kima karmeti Kavayopyatra mohitaha Tatte karma pravakshami Yadgyatva mokshase subhat Karmano hyapi bodhavyam Bodhavyam cha vikarmanah Akarmanascha bodhavyam Gahana karmano gatihi Mahadeva. These verses provide you the insight in human life as to how to act on and yet never to be affected by either the action or by the result of the action. Krishna himself is the bright, glaring example of this observation. He says clearly, Karmani mam na limpanti. Hey Arjuna, I act on in my life. Continue to act on in life. But karmani, actions, na limpanti, do not touch me. Why? Name karma phale spruha. I have absolutely no thirst for the result of the action. I do not depend upon the consequences or the result of the action for my satisfaction, contentment, fulfillment. Why? Because already he is aware of himself. Just few verses back we saw the example that he gave. Hey Partha, look at me. Nasti me kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. Look at me. Nasti me kartavyam. There is no such thing to be done by me in life. That is the beginning of the action backed by the wisdom. Average person's action, any type of endeavor, any type of attempt, is backed by desires, fulfilling certain ambitions, feeling of certain emptiness within, and therefore the person is always disappointed because happiness, contentment is not the result of an action. You must see it very clearly. Happiness is your being. Fulfillment is your being. Nobody can give it to you. Nobody can take it away from you. That is why there is nobody who is destined to be happy. Every person is the happiness himself. You cannot look for, is it in my karma? Am I destined to be happy? Am I destined to be fulfilled? There is no such person. Everybody is happy in himself. That is his nature. This is not some type of a philosophical speculation, but a discovery to be made by everybody without an exception in life. Because your happiness cannot depend upon either by acting or by not acting, taking the responsibility of an empire or renouncing everything and going into a cave. If you look for happiness in renunciation, you shall be miserable. If you look for happiness in indulgence also, you shall be miserable. Because if your happiness depends on indulgence, if you cannot indulge, disappointed. If your happiness depends upon renunciation, you cannot take the responsibility of anything in life. If your happiness depends upon the success, so-called success, reaching the target, again you shall be disappointed because there shall be no human individual in life who shall reach exact target. Either it shall be beyond your expectation or below your expectation. If it is below your expectation, you shall be boozing and dying. If it is beyond your expectation, again you may be celebrating and destroying yourself. That is how the average person's life is full of roller coaster ride. The person doesn't find the equilibrium, doesn't find that equanimity within himself. So, it's very important to discover that any action is not done in search of happiness. You neither shrug off your responsibility looking for relaxation, nor can you continue to work in order to find satisfaction. Your satisfaction must be independent of your action as well as the inaction. You are doing something or you are not doing something, the so-called success and failure. Therefore, in case of Krishna, look at that. What he says, Partha, nasti me kartavyam. There is no such thing to be done in my, there is no such thing which is to be done in this world, by doing which I shall be comfortable. Because Krishna as a God, nitya trupta, eternally satisfied. And that is how every individual is also. Everybody also nitya trupta. Atmanyeva santushta, we saw that verse. Atmanyeva santushta, atma trupta, atmarati, reveling in himself. Atma kridha, playing with himself, reveling in himself, contented with himself, not with anna rasapanadivi, not by food and the drinks. The person's contentment with himself, such a person acts on. Why? Because you have to act on. Sarira yatra pichate na prasiddhet akarmanaha. Your very sustenance of the body shall be impossible if you do not act on in life. That is why nobody can escape action. Since you cannot escape action, you better know, and the scriptures are so beautiful, they tell you how to act and do not encourage inaction. Most people equate inaction with happiness. When I'm not doing anything, oh, I'm so contented, I don't have to do anything. You are a bad example. You are a total waster, because you cannot sit down, like Krishna says, Yadeham navarteyam jatu karmani atandrita. If I do not act on in life tirelessly, atandrita, no tandra, no sleep, without any rest. Your rest doesn't come from your physical body lying under a tree. Your rest comes from within. Your body can be absolutely restful and you can be absolutely restless. But your body can be tremendously active, but you can be absolutely restful within yourself, like the eye of the cyclone. In the periphery there is tremendous movement, but deep within, in the center of the cyclone, there is absolute stillness. Move like a cyclone. Active all times, at the level of the body, level of your senses, yet eternally restful within your own self, is not some type of a speculative thinking, but something which you see in yourself as you are. Not some type of spiritual promise, a destination to be reached, but this is something which you are. You see it in yourself. That is why Atma Gyan. Knowing about yourself first. Once you are aware of yourself, you are happy with yourself, you know there is nothing to be done in life. But to sustain your body, as well as helping out others, Loka sanghramevartham sampasyan kartumarasi. If you, just because you are happy and contented, if you decide to sit down quietly, doing anything whatsoever, Bhagavan Krishna so beautifully says, average person sees and equates wisdom with inaction. They shall never see the wisdom, but they shall see your inaction, and therefore they shall continue to be inactive and lazy in life. Therefore, act on. The action should be namam karmani limpanti. No action ever affects me. Limpanti. Name karma phale spruha. Why is it no action touches you? Because karma phalena spruha asti. There is absolutely no dependence on the result of the action for the happiness. I do it. Why? Because it is to be done. Maya kartavyamiti buddhya karomi. I do it because it is to be done by me. Ask the tree, why does he produce a fruit? What is the reason? What else can it do? The sun gives you light, the moon gives you light, the minerals give you, the mountains gives you minerals. They give because they can give. You act because you can act. Don't say, I'm not going to be benefited by it, so why shall I act? If the whole creation thinks like that, think friends, if the mango tree thinks, I'm not going to eat the mango, why should I produce the mango? We shall starve. If the river thinks, I'm not going to drink a drop of water, why shall I carry the water? We shall again be thirsty and dead. The mango tree produces that mango, the tree produces because it can produce. It has the capacity. Others have the need. Every human being must be epitome of such idealism. It's not an idealism, it's a fact of life. You produce because you have the capacity, and others have the need. You don't have to enjoy the music that you are singing. Of course, in the process you do it. But your satisfaction doesn't come out of singing. I am happy, therefore I sing. Suppose by singing you shall be happy, your throat is out, your happiness is gone. By doing something I shall be happy. If you are not allowed to do that, you shall be miserable. So your beginning point should not be an urge to act. Your beginning point should be your happiness itself. And out of fulfillment, you want to act on in life. So that is why, please, that is the secret of action. The total secret of action. You must see very, very clearly. Because if you depend on the result of the action for your happiness, you shall be thoroughly disappointed. Even the one step you should not take looking for satisfaction. Please understand, in the beginning stages you have seen it all. You are the owner of the mala. If you even take one little step searching for the mala, you deny that you are the owner. You are the absolute happiness. Even if you try to open your eyes for happiness' sake, you shall be disappointed. That is why Ashtavakra Gita gives marvelous description of a wise man. What is the description? Vyapare khidyate yastu Unmesha nimeshayorapi tasya alasya dhurinasya sukham nanyasya kasyachit. Vapare khadyate yastu. Yaha khidyate, one who feels exhausted. What is this? In Vapara, this transaction, what is the transaction? Unmesha nimeshayorapi. Even to open and close his eyelids, he feels exhausted to open his eyelids or close his eyelids for the sake of happiness. Such a alasya dhurina, such a master idler, absolutely happy. Alasya dhurinasya, understand? Alasya dhurina, the person who is a master idler. Tasya sukham, because for happiness sake, he doesn't have to even open his eyes or close his eyes. To see, you can open your eyes, but for happiness sake, that is why every action, imagine, even a winking, opening or closing your eyes is effortless. You don't have to do for the sake of happiness. What to talk of physical exhaustion? What to talk of doing something, whatever you want to see, hear, taste, touch, smell, achieve, whatever you want to do. Your every step should come out of absolute fulfillment. That is why Krishna says, Namam karmani limpanti. And when you do that, please see, you are happy to see a movie. Watch out, you are happy to see a movie. So you are happy, you are already seeing, now you are already happy and you are seeing a movie. In between, electricity goes off. Still you are happy. The movie remains half, but you are still happy. If when time permits, finish the movie. You are happy, you are taking a walk. After some time, you are dissuaded or you are prevented from walking. Okay, come back. Again, you can take a walk later date. But if your happiness depends upon every action, you shall be thoroughly disappointed. That is why the average person feels exhausted in life. Your exhaustion doesn't come from your action. Your exhaustion comes from your expectation, anticipation, anxiety, misery. It comes completely, your exhaustion, you feel exhausted at the end of the day, you feel exhausted because you are looking for something which you did not get. At the end of the day, you don't get it. Therefore, you are disappointed. Please understand, there is only one thing which we should do looking for satisfaction is teaching. Go to a teacher looking for satisfaction. Don't tell me I am here coming here to, can you get me a mango? Huh? Can you get me this? No. I am here looking for satisfaction because the teacher is going to point out, you are the happiness, you are the absolute. There is no compromise there. Insist on this knowledge. I come for this, I want to know myself, if you know what it is all about. Or else, in no other place, you cannot go for looking for satisfaction. You find yourself, and out of that satisfaction, you continue to act in life. Or else, disappointment, exhaustion, tiredness, you shall not enjoy life. Whereas if you are happy with yourself, name karmani nimbanti, name karma phales, namam karmani limbanti, action do not touch me, name karma phales spruha, because result of the action I do not worry about. Hey Arjuna, iti yaha mam abhijanati, those who know me acting like this, they also are free. Why? Because they shall also act like that. Your action, ask yourself the question, your action, does it emerge, emanate, begin from an emptiness or a fullness? Ask your question. Your action, your any move, does it come out from an emptiness or from the fullness? If it comes from the emptiness, you shall be disappointed. Why? Because you are looking for the result of the action to fill up your emptiness. No result of action can fill up your emptiness. You act from fullness. Then you can ask, why shall I act for fullness? That is what the beauty is. Why is it? I am full. Then why are you acting? For action's sake. I am full. My life, my being immortal doesn't depend upon the living body. My being happiness doesn't depend upon the gaining or losing things. I am happy with myself. Shivoham, Shivoham. I am the immortal, I am the absolute. Then why are you acting? To keep the body going and to keep everybody else also going. Action for action's sake. Are you getting that point, please? Seeing for seeing's sake. But if you say, if I open my eyes, I feel so happy. Suppose you can't open your eyes. Or suppose the darkness covers the sight, you shall be miserable. You are happy and you are opening your eyes. You can't open your eyes. Okay, close your eyes. You can, in a gunpoint, you can allow me, in a gunpoint, you can command me to close my eyes. But on my gunpoint, you can't say, don't be happy. Are you getting that? But nobody can take away your happiness. You can say, this music is not available for you. How a prisoner is punished in life, in a prison? No music, no sight, no nothing. But suppose you are a person happy with yourself, no prison is no prison. And that happened during cow slaughter movement in India. During a cow slaughter movement, some 20 years back, when a cow slaughter movement, all the sadhus were fighting for that. All the sadhus in North India, they were fighting for it. So all of them came in just like everybody else does the band and all that, band, the closing down the street and all that. The sadhus came in Delhi, hundreds, thousands of them came in. And they were all get out, taken up, rounded up and pushed into Delhi jail. Hundreds of them, thousands of them, they really pushed into jail. And then what happens? When they got into jail, what will they do? Nothing. In jail you are nothing. What are you going to do? There are 1,000 people there. But breakfast was coming, lunch was coming. And you know what all the sadhus came? I say, excellent. Hey, in Rishikesh, we are stopped to go for bhiksha. Go from ashram to ashram, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers walking to get for bhiksha. Here the bhiksha is coming. They sat down, sang bhajans. Now what on earth? I'm not telling you joke. In 3 days' time, the government released them. If you are punished only, that is a punishment. If you enjoy the punishment, why person feel punished? House arrest. You cannot see outside. You cannot go outside. You cannot see. You cannot read. Suppose a person says, Appa, that's what exactly I was looking for. So nice. So long I have been working. Now everybody tells me not to work. So beautiful. It's not a punishment. But if you, listen friends, but suppose your happiness depends upon seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, getting involved, you cannot do it restless. That is why if your inaction brings restlessness in life, you better stop and look at yourself. Your activity should not bring you an engagement and escape from your emptiness. Your inaction should not cause restlessness, both ways. Because you are active, that should not take you away. Are you getting that? They should not help you to escape from a sense of emptiness and restlessness. And your inactivity should not cause you restlessness. You can be happily active 24 hours a day. You can be happily inactive 24 hours a day. That is the person. That is the secret of action. People don't understand it because person thinks is very, very active. And thereby, by your activity, what happens? Everybody keeps being restless. Morning I was giving you the example. You are restless about, are you getting that? You are so restless because you want to go to Madras. So everybody say, the car has come, the scooter has come, what time it is coming? There is a band around that. Only about your restlessness. Listen carefully, friends. Not only your restlessness makes others restless, your anger can make other people also disappointed. You are so angry. You are so restless. You are so suspicious. You are so jealous. You are so insecure. Your insecure breeds insecurity. Because if you are continuously insecure, why during a marriage everybody is given new clothes? Because everybody must be brought to a celebratory mode. Because the girl is marrying, the boy is marrying, they are celebrating. So, new dress, new clothes, new food, new ornaments. So that everybody is in a celebratory mode. But suppose the marriage taking place, other fellow is crying there. I don't know what to do, there is no food here. Will you feel guilty to get married? Because everybody is enjoying and here you are. And that is the time the priest gives you the all terrible guilt. So much of gold for your daughter and now only 500 rupees for me. Okay, take 5,000 and go. Why? Because guilt. He provides you guilt. So you create that mood around, you create that mood around of happiness everywhere. Same thing also. If you are restless, if you are agitated, if you are angry, your anger also will create, if you are angry, you get angry with everything. Somebody does it, Why didn't you do like this? Did not do it? Why did you not do like that? Oh boy, your anger can destroy everybody. So what is needed is changing yourself. Your being happy does not depend upon any result of action. Ask yourself a question. Are you even opening your eyes for your happiness? You sit down quietly for some time. That is why meditation. Meditation is not to please some God, or to slow down your heartbeat and making your kidney stone disappear. Meditation is for being with yourself, absolutely being with yourself, who you are. Others are all consequences. I mean, it's like I take 10,000 rupees business from you, 100 rupees thrown in. You be with yourself. Yes, stone disappears. That is thrown in. That is not the purpose. Those are all, ineffective consequences. It just doesn't matter. If it happens, happens. Doesn't happen, so what? What this is stone disappearing? My body is going to disappear one day. So it makes no difference to you. You are absolutely happy with it. So when you sit down for some time, look for yourself. Are you closing your eyes, escaping from the world? Or are you opening your eyes to escape from your mind? Both ways. Are you closing your eyes to escape from the engagement of the world? Or are you closing your eyes to escape from your mind? The secular person opens his eyes to escape from his mind. The religious person closes his eyes to escape from the world. Who is better? Both are escapists. The person who knows himself, neither a secular person nor a religious person, as comfortable with opening the eyes, that comfortable closing the eyes. You understand the beauty of this wisdom? How fantastic it is? That is what he says. Evam gyantva, hey Arjuna, knowing this, karmam krutam, purvairapi mumukshuvihi. Knowing this principle, purvairapi mumukshuvihi karma krutam. People who are desirous of liberation, they have done every action in life. Why? Chitta suddhyartham. If you are ignorant, act on in life consciously, accepting the result of action as it is, so that you counteract your likes and dislikes and ultimately abide in yourself. And if you are a tattvavid, if you already know the truth for yourself, loka sangrahartham kartumarasi, for the sake of the humanity, for the sake of your sustenance, as well as for the sake of humanity, you continue to act. Why? Because your body being what it is, understand please, your body being what it is, nahi dehavruta sakyam tyaktum karmani asesata. As long as you are sporting a body, you cannot remain without action, even for a second. Your body shall need to act. It will be, if you sit down for some time, you cannot, because you cannot stop action, because chalanatmika kriya. Action means movement. You cannot stop the movement. Your body may not move, but your blood is moving. Thoughts are moving. Action is continuous. You have to respond to it. Therefore, know how to act on in life and not to act. If you act, if you go on engaging yourself in action, you sustain your body, sustain others. Because of your attitude, everything changes inside. Because of your attitude behind the action, you do not have a roller coaster ride inside. You remain equanimous, balanced in your vision, and therefore easy to abide in yourself, who you are. And therefore, here Arjuna, you act on. And I will tell you, what is this action? In verses, so beautiful. The ultimate principle of human activity. You cannot better it. Kim karma, now he says, Kim karma, Kim akarma iti, kavayo patra moita. When Bhagavan says, Taskuru tasmat karmatvam, therefore act on, Arjuna. Now Arjuna says, all right, what is that action which I should do? Kim karma, what is this action I should do? Bhagavan says, hey Arjuna, very difficult to answer. Do you know why? Kim karma iti, kim akarma iti, kavayaha api atra moita. Kavayaha, jnaninaha, sastradarshinaha, krantadarshinaha. Kavi means krantadarshi, one who sees the truth, sees the reality of everything. Even these such wise, enlightened, awakened people, they are also confused. Confused means they also cannot define as to what exactly the action is, what is karma, and what is akarma, what is inaction. Nobody can say. Three things they are, next verse, I shall connect up both the verses. Next verse it says, Karmana hapi bodhavyam, bodhavyam cha vikarmana, akarmanascha bodhavyam, gahana karmano gati. Hey Arjuna, gahana karmano gati, secret, deep, mysterious indeed are the ways of the action. Nobody can define what is the action, karma. What is karma? What is vikarma? Karma means vihita karma. What is should be done? One line, write down. Huh? Karma, vihita karma. What is to be done? Right action. Then vikarma. Vikarma means pratisiddha karma. What are the action which should not be done? Prohibited action. And what is akarma? Inaction. Very difficult to describe. What is right, you shall never know. It is not given to human being to know, like take a right decision. People ask the question, Swamiji, how do I know that this action I am doing is right? Don't worry, you will never know. Then how am I going to act? Think, how am I going to act? First appreciate, nobody can take a right decision. You better appreciate these things very clearly. You cannot take right decision at any time. Oh, what are you talking? Please appreciate. Because your decision is right or wrong shall not be known when you are acting. Your decision shall be right or wrong shall be known from the result of the action. Phalena parichayate. Are you getting that? Only from the result of the action you shall know whether your action done before is right or wrong. You invested 100,000 rupees on your stock exchange. You want to have a right decision. You want to decide and say, shall I know? I must decide. Please tell me, is it the right moment to invest? Somebody says, yes, this is the right moment. Everything is going up, 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 up. You do it. Go to 100,000. So you think you have taken the right decision. Next, after 6 months, you had a high ride. Then suddenly, 9/11. The World Trade Center collapsed. Boom. 100,000 became 100 million, then back to zero. Then what do you say? Chha, I should have taken away in the middle, There was a gambler, I'll tell you 2 to 3 stories. One fellow, you can take this correct example. One fellow was gambling. So he went to Las Vegas and he started investing. $100 he went to the black gammon, $100, lost. Then he went to roulette, $100, lost. So okay, put another $3,000 in another game, put 3,000, lost. But he was in a big mood, he said to his wife, please send some money immediately. Today I think I shall win. I have a sense of confidence. I will win. You have a confidence, even though you are losing, but you have a sense of confidence. I will win. So because he doesn't have money, he goes to the operator. Operator, yes, give me the number. He gives the number. 3,000 francs you have to give. Okay, 3,000 francs, given. Then after the end of it, the call went to China. Instead of going to his wife in France, it went to China. So it's a wrong number. Then the person lost the money, so he called back to operator. What happened? Again you lost wrong number. Because all your number today is lost. You are losing continuously. Okay, another person, he went to gambling. So he went to gambling, he went for a horse race, he put $100 on that. Lost. Second one, 200, lost. Then he says, Che, what is this life? Let me commit suicide. So he goes to the nearby cliff, going to almost jump. A voice from inside comes, don't kill yourself. Next year, you same race you come, I will tell you the horse. You will win. So he goes there. Next year he says there, number 9. Hey, number 9, 100,000. Then he comes back. Second race on the same day. Yes. Number 12. Number 12, again he won. Very good. Then the third time he is going to put, the voice says, don't do. Don't bet, go back home. You have got enough? Now don't bet, go back home. He says, today is my lucky day. So again he bet by himself. He lost. And then he goes to commit suicide. The voice tells, today you can jump. Because I told you, today you can jump. This is another variety. Okay, the third variety is, this fellow, he was going for he and his wife both went to a city. And everybody is racing there. So they went to the race course. So both husband and wife, they started playing the game. They lost $100. Another day, $200. Then the husband said, look, you don't come. Let me go. Let me work on my hunches. You don't interfere, let me go. So he took some money, just 2, 3, they had got $5 with him. So he takes the $5 and goes there. And the fellow puts a dollar, becomes 20. Puts another dollar, it becomes 400. Another one, this lucky day, whatever he is putting, he gets $20,000 he got. Then on the way he come back, is going to another, gambling then, and put up 20,000, he got 40,000. So he said, wonderful. Then he was coming back home. Then on the way back home, another little gambling den. And these, once you are gambling, you are lost. So he said, oh, today is my lucky day, go there. And he said, all right, black chip, he invested on it. He put the entire 40,000 there. He put the red, it came back red. The whole thing is lost. He comes back home, his wife asked him, so, how did you do today? He lost $2. Lost $5. Whether $5 he had invested, no. That's an attitude. $5 I took, so how can he say I lost 40,000? Because your dollar was $5. You got the 40,000 and you lost the 40,000. So what you lost? Not 40,000. You lost only 5. Because from the 5, in no time you had made 40. So what you lost? Not 40. You made 5. This fellow is smart. Ask yourself in life, what is that you lost? Did you lost on your thing or on what you borrowed? What you made? What you made, you invested. What you made, you invested. But what you started with, you are still with it. You started, so can you start with satisfaction? Your life, you start with satisfaction. You start with fulfillment. Start with absolute wisdom. Start with yourself, who you are. Invest in life. But when you are investing, think, as you are investing, it may work, may not work. Working, fantastic. Did not work, excellent. Why? I enjoyed working. Playing the game. Because when you are investing, please understand, when you are investing, you shall never know whether you are investing right or wrong. When you are taking a step, you shall never know. Shall I go for a Himalayan trip? How will you know it is right or wrong? So a person wants to go to Manasarovar. Suppose he says, I am going to Manasarovar. What people will say? Lucky. Everybody tell you, no, lucky. You can go to Manasarovar. I have never gone. You go, lucky. And a lucky person is going. And here after the India crossing the border, there is a landslide. And everybody died. Then what do you say, lucky now? To that family, can you say, lucky people only go to... Will you say that? Hasho, lucky I did not go. See that? How the thing changes? Please understand this inevitable absolute principle. While taking a decision in life, you shall never know whether it is right or wrong. Because the decision is right and wrong shall be known only from the consequence. The result when it comes out wonderfully. Hey, made a really smart move. Did not come out. I should not have done that. That's what it is. But if you should not have done that, that your attitude should be that you are playing the game. Happy with yourself, but playing the game of life. So, did it? Yes, did it. Enjoyed playing the game. Lost. So what? Gain also. Excellent. That is why success doesn't go into your head. Failure doesn't send you brooding. You have enjoyed the game of life, and that is the secret. Because you shall never know what is karma, what is right action. How do you know? What is pratisiddha karma, what is should not be done? Because certain times, what you call as a prohibited action, if you do it, it is very nice. Just think of it. Certain times you do a prohibited action. You are not supposed to cross the border. Listen, you are not supposed to cross the border. For whom? You are in a communist country, your freedom is completely taken away. And if there you are prohibited from jumping the border. If you jump the border, right or wrong? You are doing a pratisiddha karma. Are you getting that? Nisiddha karma. You are not supposed to cross it, but you are crossing. North Korea, people are dying, let us say. Nobody must cross the border, nobody must come in touch with the Chinese, or nobody is come in touch with South Korean. But those who are escaping, from the country's standpoint, they are doing Nisiddha karma. But they are the best people. Because if you stay within that rule, you are suffering. But from the country's constitution, you are making a mistake. Karma is right or wrong. Who has to decide? That is why culture varies. In certain culture, you cannot marry your sister's daughter. You cannot marry your brother's son. But certain other culture, that is the only thing you should do. Right or wrong? Somebody tells you, that is why they call it superstition. Somebody shall tell you, oh, 13th Friday, Black Friday. Some people say, that's why 13th floor is not there. 12A, 14. 13 is not there. What is wrong with 13? Don't ask the reason. Because these sentiments should not be questioned. That is why devotions, devotee, their attitude should not be questioned. Because if you challenge this type of thing, the people feel only disturbed. Forget it. Because you don't know what is right, what is the right action. Which side of the hall is this? From my standpoint, left side. From your standpoint, right side. One is looking that way, front side. One is looking this way, back side. This is front side, back side, right side, left side. You change the point of reference, the whole arrangement changes. East, west, south, north. How do you decide? Change the point of reference, east becomes west, north becomes south. Good or bad? Right or wrong? Kavayo petra mohita. Even the wise men do not dwell upon that. In a sense, individually everything has to be seen. Under what? That is why there is no general papa, general punya. You cannot say killing is bad. Who kills? Under what circumstances? Why? That is why you must establish the motive. If you kill in self-defense, release. If you kill for personal gain, punishment. So you have to establish a motive. And who can establish a motive? You can always cheat people. Same action, action remaining the same. Two places knives are used, bloodshed, death. One is hanged, other is paid. The doctor uses a knife, bandit uses a knife. Both places bloodshed, both places death. When the doctor is paid for it, the bandit is hanged. That is why a doctor can hide behind, a surgeon can hide behind that motive. Because you take for granted that he is trying to save life. That is why you can be Dr. Death. In Australia, you know, that happened, the doctor who killed so many people. Nobody could find it out. Because if a doctor starts killing, how do you find it out? Like a policeman becoming a thief, how do you find it out? A military can be a terrorist, how do you find it out? Difficult. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? So Krishna says, I'll tell you. See the beauty. I'll tell you. What is the karma? What is that? Karma kim karma, kima karmeti. Both way, what is action, what is inaction. Then he says, karmana api bodhabhyam. You must know what is right action. Vikarmanascha bodhabhyam. What is prohibited action? Akarmanascha bodhabhyam, what is inaction? Gahana karmano gati. Indeed, it's mysterious. Hey Arjuna, very difficult. And you know what he does next time? He doesn't explain. I'll tell you. Bodhabhyam, it must be known. But he doesn't tell. Do you know what he does? He says, you cannot say. Action is action. Attitude makes it right, wrong, prohibitory. Therefore, your attitude should change. If your attitude is beautiful, every action is beautiful. If your attitude is wrong, every action is wrong. That is why it is not the action that should be judged. It is the motive. Are you getting that point, please? You must see it very, very clearly. Because action by itself can send you wrong signals. A mafia, criminal, but building a huge church or a temple or a mosque. Drug addict, total into drug peddling, $500 million. And he throws $100 million to build up a temple or a church or a mosque. Looking at what people shall say, whoa. Think of it. Huge money for the irrigation system. What the people say, whoa, very nice. But how do you know? What is the motive behind it? Understand? A mother can be very, very strict. The child doesn't do what the mother wants to do. The mummy hits the baby. What the whole world will say? Look at the mother, so cruel, punishing the baby like anything. Can anybody love the child more than the mother? She is doing for the child's sake. You can misinterpret the whole thing. Any action can be misinterpreted. That is why you shall only know. With what attitude you are performing, only you shall know. Others shall never know. You can have a fantastic facade, but the ugliest motive. The example they give in Sanskrit is Suhasitani is the lion licking the kill. When after hunting, it goes on licking that hunt, as though giving it some, some comfort. But it's only going to be the deadly bite. It licks, but he has given the deadliest bite. The person is finished. Think. So motive. So now here he says beautifully, we'll now see how the action by itself, neither good nor bad nor ugly, is how you act, and it gives you the attitude, literally the most beautiful verse. What? Most? Everyone is most beautiful. Eh? Okay, read this one. How do I know? This is how you must act. What a principle of action. Karmanya karmaya pashyet. Akarmani cha karmaya. Sabuddhiman manusyeshu. Sayukta Krishna karma krute. Karmanya karmaya pashyet. Akarmani cha karmaya. Sabuddhiman manusyeshu. Sayukta Krishna karma krute. Please underline his verse. Keep it in your brain. Keep in your head. It's beautiful. Just like in the second chapter, when Arjuna asked, O Lord, Sthita Pragyasya ka bhasa. Do you remember those verses? Long, long ago when Ashoka was the king. You read it, right? I hope you remember. What did Arjuna ask? Sthita Pragyasya ka bhasa. O Lord, how do you describe a wise man? Does he talk? If he talks, how does he talk? Asita kim, does he sit down? If he sit down, how does he sit down? Brajita kim, does he move? If he moves, katham brajita, how does he move? Because Arjuna wants to know how to find out a wise man. How does he sit down? How does he talk? How does he move? Because usually people have strange, mysterious association with wisdom. Wise man means if everybody talks loud, he talks soft. If everybody eats rice, he must be eating leaves and the grass. If everybody drinks water, he must be eating only fruit juice. If we say namaskar, namaste, good morning, he must say om om, something like that. All the funny behavior. So these are the things associated with it. So Arjuna wants to know, how does the wise man move, talk, sit down? What did Krishna say? Nothing. He did not answer the question. Why? Because wisdom is not an action. You can express the wisdom in action, but wisdom is not associated with an action. Wisdom is an attitude, is yourself within. That is why he tells the wise man, he doesn't say how he moves, how he talks, but he says how he lives, how he behaves, what is his thinking. What is his thinking? A simple sample he gave it. What is that? Like the turtle. A turtle is moving on the world. The slightest hint of danger, he knows how to withdraw. And then again moves on. Same thing also. The wise person is one, he speaks, talks, does everything you are asking him, he does it. He speaks, he hears it. How does he, what does he speak? Don't ask. He speaks. What does he do? Don't ask. He does everything. But there's an attitude. How? The moment he knows where to withdraw. Any hint of danger, he knows where to withdraw unto himself. Absolutely protected with himself. No action touches him, no action, nothing ever touches him. So that is the attitude. Same thing also here. What is right action? What is wrong action? I can't say. Because any action can be interpreted, misinterpreted. Any action can be interpreted 100 different ways. That is why when a law is like a donkey, you can go on interpreting. It depends. Subject to interpretation, 1,000 interpretation. Understand? So he tells, I can never say which action is right, wrong, or, I do not know. Why? Because they are relative things. It's like to Eskimos, if you say, you must be a vegetarian, what does it mean? A prescription for death. To say Eskimos to be vegetarian means what? In other words, die. In that country, that place, he has to do like that. No problem. When you are going in a jungle, wildlife infested, bandit infested, carry a gun is natural. You should. For your self-defense, carry a gun. Don't say carrying a gun is a crime, criminal act. No, not in the jungle. So depends on the situation. Certain times you can go on the right time, certain times you can follow the rule, certain times you may have to bypass a little. You have to. You cannot say, yes, I shall follow the rule all the time. It is very, very, not difficult, impossible. You cannot follow the dotted line every moment in life. It is just not work. Do you know why? Who has put the dotted line? Who has put the dotted line? Some human being somewhere. And if you look at the Vedic dotted line, it is so flexible you cannot believe. That is why most people complain, that Hindu traditions are all permissive traditions. You can do this also, you can do that. You can worship, when shall you worship? Anytime. Sunday also? Yes. Monday also? Yes. Friday also? Yes. Never also? Yes. Because it is, it's a matured standpoint. Freedom. Once a day, twice a day, thrice a day, once in a week. Very nicely. When our Swamiji was teaching us, Swami Chinmayanandi was teaching us, somebody asked him, Swamiji, every religion tells them they must do on Sunday or Saturday or Friday or one time or twice. How come Hindus, there is no such thing? You know what he said in his flamboyant naturalness? What he said? Hinduism is not a part-time religion. It's not a part-time religion. Meaning, once in a while, do it. No, 24 hours, 365 days, you can worship. And I don't want to do that, also not do. Who says? I don't go to temple, so what? I go to temple, that's good for you. See, it is completely up to you. That is why Dharma Shastra, please understand, Dharma Shastra is not universal. Brahma Sutra is universal. Atmajnana is universal. Who am I? Universal. In that, no consideration of jati, niti, kula, gotra, caste, creed, sex, race, nationality, belief, nothing matters. Because who you are beyond all of this stuff. That is universal. What food you eat? Don't ask me. What shall you do? Don't ask me. I teach you driving. Where shall you drive? Why are you asking me? That is the wisdom. Teach you driving. Where shall I drive? Don't ask me. You drive where you want to drive. No, wherever you tell me, you are my guru. Wherever you tell me, I will drive. A donkey, get lost. Are you a donkey? Donkey has no destination. Donkey has to be carried. Like that. The fellows who wait for instructions from some other destination all the time is like a donkey. You see for yours. Look at Krishna. Having taught Arjuna, what did he say? Did you understand what I say? Arjuna says, yes, I understood. And out of sheer courtesy and gratitude, he says, Karishya vachanam tava. Oh Lord, I will do whatever you tell me to do. And what Krishna says? Krishna should not be there. Krishna should feel very happy. Abba, at last I have a donkey. Whatever I say, he will do. No. He doesn't tell that. What he says? We'll see in the 18th chapter, the last one. Vimurshete aseshena yathechasi tathakuru. Hey Arjuna, think over well what all I told you. Having thought over it well, aseshena vimurshya. Having thought over it well, yatha ichhasi tathakuru. Do as you choose. Because your point of reference is same absolute as mine. Your point of reference is same knowledge, same wisdom. You be happy with yourself. Out of that, you function. What shall I do? You choose. Ready for consequences. Independent. And no more dependent on the result of action for your satisfaction. You shall be a wonderful person. So therefore he gives the attitude. Akarmani karmaniya akarmaya pasyet. This is line, underline it is. It's like a principle. It's like E is equal to MC square. It is the ultimate principle of action in life. You can write a thesis on it, 1,000 books on it, 1,000,000 books on it. But this is the attitude in life. If you don't have this, you can very well say that you shall be miserable, frustrated anytime. Karmani akarmaya pasyet. Yaha pasyet. One who sees what? Karmani akarma. In and through the action, who sees the actionlessness. In and through the movement, who sees immobility. In and through the limited actions, one who sees the limitlessness. In and through the continuous living and dying, who sees the eternity, immortality. Such a person, buddhiman. Manushyeshu buddhiman. Among the human beings, he is the real buddhiman. Not only he sees actionlessness in and through the action, but also akarmanicha karmayaha. See the both the sides. One who sees karmani akarmaya pasyet. One who sees actionlessness akarmana, karmani, in and through action. Also, akarmanicha karmayaha pasyet. One who sees in and through the inaction, akarmani, in and through the inaction, who sees karma, the action. In and through the activity, you see the actionlessness, the Brahman, the truth, the absolute, you will see that. And in and through the physical inactivity, your thought level inactivity, you see karma, action, the total activity, being with yourself. We'll explain it now. One who does it, sa buddhiman, he indeed is the intelligent person, discriminate person, wise person. Sa manushyesu, among the human beings, is the manushyesu buddhiman. Saiva Krishna karma krut. In fact, he has done all that is to be done. Krishna karma krut. He has done all that is to be done. Oh, really? Okay, just see this example. Now this is a mala standing here, right? Steady. In action. There is no action, there is no movement. It is steady, it is a movement. Now it is moving. It's moving. Now when you say it is moving, in reality, if you look at it, is it really moving? Think for yourself. You know, in our early physics lessons in our school, you will see that when a pendulum will be moving like that. Picture will be moving pendulum, na? Dot, 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 pendulum, dot, 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 pendulum, dot, dot, dot. Are you getting that? Like, every place, see, this is steady. Steady, 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 steady. Together, moving. Animated. Each one is steady. So, even though it is moving, in reality, it is a series of immobile things. It's like a point. A point has no dimension, length, breadth, height. But what is a straight line? So many points. But each point, no length, no breadth, no height. Same thing also in action. Whatever you are doing on in life, physical activities, mental activities, the content of your physical action and the mental action, thought movement, is yourself, the consciousness. For a thought to move, it begins with absolute steadiness. Think. Where do you begin? Ask yourself a question. You are looking, you are perceiving. Think. You are perceiving. When it's a perception, where from the perception begins? Simple thinking. Please see that. Where from the perception begins? Suppose you are not there. Will the perception begin? Objects of perception are there. But if you are not there, will the perception begins? Cannot. So you must be there for the perception to begin. Think. You must be there for the perception to begin. Okay, so who perceives? My eyes perceives. Start thinking. Does your eyes perceive? Suppose your eyes are looking at it, but your mind is somewhere. That is why people when ask you, did you see one elephant going this way? Elephant? When did it go? What does it mean? Your eyes are looking, but your mind is somewhere. So the eyes are like glass balls, marbles. You hear sometimes. Did you hear what they said? Everybody laughs. If the class is there, everybody laughs with a joke. Suddenly one person will be waking up. What did he say? What did he say? Why? What happened to your ears wide open? The ears have no flap. It's wide open. How did you miss it? Because your ears are there. Mind is somewhere. So your eyes do not perceive. There must be mind behind. The thoughts must be behind that. So for the perception to take place, eyes are just not enough. Thought must be there. For the thought to be, you must be conscious. Suppose you are unconscious, think of it. Sleeping. Absent-minded, somewhere. What do? That is where you don't see. Remember that? I think I told you a story, no? A person one day while walking, hit against a pillar and sitting down on the road. Oh, holding his face. Then whoever passing by asking, what happened? And he is going through such pain. Do you think he has time to explain to everybody? Because he hit his face. So other person, what happened? When 3-4 people got so disgusted, he said, do you see that pillar? He said, yes, I did not see. Now what does it mean? Why he did not see? Did he have the eyes or no? Why he did not see? No, please see that. The pillar is turning, the eyes are looking. Why he says he did not see? Because thoughts are somewhere. He was not conscious. So, for the beginning of perception, for the perception to take place, what is the beginning? The object of the perception, the eyes, the thought, or you? Come on. What is in the beginning of your perception? First you, then only perception. Okay, perception is not an action because perception happens naturally. To perceive, what should you do? Come on. To perceive, what should you do? To see, what should you do? Nothing. To see a particular thing, you should do something. See the beauty of it. To see, to hear, to taste, to touch, what should you do? Just be. Just be conscious. The sense organs will function, they will take over. Now you are standing now here. Suppose I say, hey, listen to the sound of this breeze passing. What shall you do? I mean, it's all going on. It reaches you. A bird is singing, it reaches you. But suppose you say, no, you must listen to the sound of the Niagara Fall. Then you have to travel 5,000 miles. That becomes an action. Are you getting that? So for perception, what is the beginning? For every perception, where is the beginning? In yourself. But what do we think? Object, eyes. That is why you are in trouble. As even for perception, you are the beginning. For every action to take place, where is the beginning? Every action. Please see this. If you don't understand, ask me again. I will repeat it million times. But you must see once for all. Every action, please understand, no action can begin by itself. Every action must have a corresponding thought. Action, movement at the level of the sense organ and organs of action, karma. Long before you interpret that action as good or bad, right and wrong, first you must do the action. Are you getting that point? First there must be action. Once the action is done, then your begins now interpretation, right or wrong, good or bad. And for the action to take place, first there must be a thought. For the thought, understand, you are now thinking. For the thought to be converted to an action, the thought must be expressed at the level of your sense organ, organs of action. It must be expressed at the level of your sense organ, organs of action. Please understand. Mosquitoes sitting on your thighs. Report comes. Mosquito. The moment the report comes, what happens? Suppose the report comes, mosquitoes. If you are conscious, what is it? Mosquito. Okay. Now, what is your action? At the level of the sense organ, with your eyes, you look at it. If you are that conscious, first you look at it. Then you can decide. Hit. Go. Or, not many people are conscious. The mosquito, the mind is a mosquito. Thought. So that is a movement at the level of the mind. But for that, you have to be conscious. So what is the beginning of the action? The thought or you are being conscious of yourself? If you are conscious at the level of your body, you are the grossest fellow. Only when the action takes place, you know it. Other person catches at the level of the thought, little subtle. When he catches at the level of himself, wise. Are you getting that point, please? That is why every thought that passes is like you have got a radar inside. Nothing goes undetected. Nothing goes unrecognized. Thought comes. Mosquito, you look at it. Even, so don't say perception is not an action. Perceptions also can be action. Now suppose you are going and sometimes don't you complain, Swamiji, that fellow is very crude, always looking at me only like this. He is looking. Looking also becomes an action because it becomes very irritating. Are you getting that? Suppose somebody always looking at you. Now how do you like it? What do you say? Why is he always looking at me? What does he say? By looking at you, I am not eating you up. Huh? What do you mean I am not eating you up? Or whenever we are talking something, the fellow is listening. Even sense organ level, it becomes an action. Are you getting that point? Speaking is not action or moving. It's moving, hitting your hand, kicking your feet, holding embracing somebody or holding somebody, speaking it out. Of course is action. Even looking also is an action. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you wanting to listen what we say? You understand the point? All these actions at the level of the sense organs have their root in a corresponding thought. And for the thought to be expressed, there must be your express sanction if you are a conscious entity. Therefore, you must be conscious of your thought. Ask yourself a question. Therefore, what is the beginning of action? The root of every action is yourself. So, karmani, in and through all movements, physical, sense organ level, at thought level, akarmaya pasyet, one who sees the self eternally restful, actionless, like the eye of the cyclone. You are always restful. Thought moving, sense organs moving, body moving, creation changing. But your being restful, your being in meditation never goes away. That is why meditation is not a practice, it's your being. What is average person's meditation? Physical inactivity, sense organs banning the sense perceptions, banning the sense of activity of physical body, banning your speech, banning your thought. You are trying impossible. Impossible means not that you cannot ban. Yes, you can ban all activities, but you cannot ban living. It will growing will take place. Hunger can you ban? You sit down quietly, hunger will come. Then your mind will say, go for food. Then we say, oh, disturbing my thought. What nonsense. Swamiji, we should not be asked to sit down for 3 hours. Hunger comes now. The thought is coming, my meditation is lost. I have to go to bathroom. My meditation is disturbed. This is the type of funny meditation people do. Because banning the thought, banning the action, banning the thing, everything. No. All action takes place. This is where comes your creativity. Every activity is taking place, but you are not disturbed at any time. Absolutely peaceful, restful with yourself. Karmani akarmaya pasyet. So, action is right or wrong? Is it a karma or vikarma or akarma? Is it a right action, prohibited action or good action? Name me one action which you cannot make a wrong action. Name. That is why people can throw, they say no, they can kebab mein haddi. Vegetarian example, stone in the rice. Anything you do, suppose somebody is helping out everybody. Think, that you can see the society. Suppose somebody is helping everybody. Ask him 500 rupees, he gives you 1,000 rupees. That variety. Suppose some people helping out. The person who is not giving, what will they say? Oh, that fellow, he is giving. Yeah, why should he not give? He has enough black money. Okay. Suppose he does not give, what will they say? Fellow is a miser, miser. If you do, you are wrong. If you don't, if you do, they will badmouth you. If you don't do also, they will scandalize you. You smile, why are you always smiling? If you don't smile, why your hand face is like who? Hey. Whatever you do becomes wrong. What do you do? If you give it is wrong, if you don't give it wrong. If you speak it is wrong, if you don't speak it is wrong. That is why you don't have to wait for public opinion, what other people are telling, don't ever succumb to that nonsense. Approval from the audience. The sun doesn't wait for approval from the onlooker to come up. The sun shines. Nothing in the nature waits for our approval. The nature takes place. Can you be that natural? No motives. You don't destroy anybody, do not exploit anybody. Your presence is a blessing. You don't need anybody's approval because whatever you do is right. You don't do right thing. Can you have that type of confidence? You are a different person. Sometimes people ask me, students come and ask me, sometimes, not you, anybody, Swamiji, can I go to the market? Hey, if you are going for the right thing, don't ask my permission. If you are going for mischief, what are you asking for? Behave like an adult. No, you go there and you end up in a movie theater or a prostitution someplace or some idiotic, some nonsense, you do drink, smoke or whatever nonsense. Then suppose somebody says, how can you come here? I have told Swamiji. What? What is this I have told Swamiji? Told Swamiji what? So with God's blessings you go for killing people, right? I have told the God. Wonderful. Be conscious. Wise man never does the right thing. Whatever he does is right. You can work on that statement. They never do right thing. It may appear wrong from other person's standpoint. It is right from its own standpoint because he knows he has no motives. It is like mummy. The mother can slap the baby, but you don't fault the mummy because her intention is good. It doesn't enjoy slapping. You can think. When you know yourself who you are, whatever you do, that becomes right. Why? Because your every action is conscious. Long before a thought expresses itself at the level of your body or the sense organ, it's already got your intelligent sanction. You are conscious. I'm doing it. And therefore you are ready for the consequences. You know your activity is unconscious when you suffer by the consequences. When you complain, oh, should not have done, I don't know why did I do it, you should not have done that, no. And by chance it turns out wrong also, you are ready to accept it. I did this, it turned out wrong. You accept. You accept your defeat. I made a wrong move. I should not have done that, I did a wrong move. Then move on. You understand? Just like nature. The nature never repents. Have you seen nature repenting? One cyclone comes, next time one small breeze comes and says, apologies. Yesterday you blew a little too hard. You see? Oh, yesterday the volcano rocked a little hard. Sorry. So today everybody steady. It just goes. Understand? You don't do things to hurt people. Therefore, there is no reason to say sorry. Your attitude is beautiful. Every action comes out of fulfillment. Karmani akarmaya pasya. Every action. Which action? Level of the body, sense organ, mind. It doesn't matter. And all millions of actions are on that. What you speak, you know. Where your eyes move, your ears move, your sense organs involved, you know. Your physical body movement, you know. Your thoughts, you know. Every action is beautiful. Akarmani cha karmaya. Or suppose sometimes you decide not to do any action, physical movement, no physical movement. When there is no body is not moving, listen. Remember the verse in Kathopanishad. What he says? Yada panchavatisthante jnanani manasa saha yada panchavadist buddhi chana vicheshtari tamahu paramam gati tam yogamiti manyante sthiram indriya dharanam. What the verse? Yada panchavadishthanti, the five sense organs of action, everything stay in their own place. Body steady. Buddhi chana vicheshtati, the mind doesn't move. Tamahu paramam gatim, tam yogamiti manyante. Call it yoga, call it buddhi, call it wisdom, awareness, yourself. So even though the body is inactive, you are seeing a very living presence, yourself. It is not inactivity or laziness. It is total activity. Meditation is a total activity. Of what? What can you say? It is just like that propeller in that plane, propeller, the blades. When it is at high speed, can you see the movement? Have you seen that? High speed. What movement? You don't see the blades. Go near, you will be cut into pieces. Like a turbine. Eh? Huge movement. But you don't see anything. But go there, oh. Like very nicely, Dusmanta Shakundala. Dusmanta, the king, when he goes there into the ashram and sees Shakundala, Kanva's Rishi's adopted daughter, Shakundala, and he falls for her. And he tells the court jester, his companion, I must get this girl. I must marry. Because the king, so he wants that girl, Shakundala. Now the court jester, hey, do watch out. These rishis, they are Shamapradhaneshu tapodhaneshu. Kalidasa writes very nicely. Shamapradhaneshu tapodhaneshu Dayatmakam gudhamasti tejah. Dayatmakam gudhamasti tejah. In this Samapradhana tapodhana, these great sages, Samapradhana, very Shanta Purusha. But inside, Dayatmakam tejamasti, they have brilliance which can burn you down. Like you see the fire which is set out. On the top, very cool ashes. Go inside. Very cool ashes all over. But inside, fire. It's like quite surface of the ocean. Inside, undercurrent. The person is a wise man, very Shanta Purusha. Inside, whoosh, total alertness. Looking at him, you will not know there is such brilliance, such alertness inside. Akarmani karma pasyat. Physically, like any ordinary person. Shanta Purusha. Ayu unnuve theriyade. Doesn't know anything. Inside, whoo, everything is alert, aware, always conscious. That is why there is no exhaustion. There is no tiredness. There are some people who are tired of activity. There are some people who are tired of inactivity. Are you getting that? Some people are tired of activity. There are some people who are tired of inactivity. Wise man enjoys activity, enjoys inactivity. Doing something is as wonderful as not doing anything. Holiday, excellent. Full day working, wonderful. Both ways. Why? You are at rest with yourself. One who sees this. Buddhiman Manushyeshu. Hey Arjuna, such a person, Manushyeshu, among the human beings, Buddhiman. So ask yourself the question. Don't ask, please tell me the actions which I should do. Tell me the actions which I should not do. People want that type of, do's and don'ts. And every place is full of that also. So the people who follow the do's, they are very proud. We are religious people, disciplined. The fellow who doesn't do that, is a fellow who is doing everything wrong. So you can be such a deceptive past master because you can follow everything that is to be done and you can be a high-class crook. Get up morning, early morning getting up. Early morning, 4 o'clock, 4:30 getting up. Then disturbing everybody. Or telling everybody, I get up, this fellow doesn't get up. It's better you don't get up and start giving guilt to anybody. Nobody should talk loud. So, see, I never talk loud. But these people, Swamiji, you don't always talking. You understand? So people go for do's and don'ts. Why? Because easy to follow. You want to give a tick mark. Therefore don't say, there should be no do's and don'ts. No. To begin with, these things are there for the baby to grow up. A grown-up doesn't need that. That's a wisdom. Who is the person? You don't tell him what to do, what not to do. The person must see it for himself. Naturally, he will not do things which will be disturbing people. And a happy man doesn't make himself unhappy, doesn't make others unhappy. He may not give happiness to somebody, but he will not give unhappiness to anybody. The whole Gita will be full of that. How much can you see? But take this principle in your life. The moment to stir outside, or start perceiving at the level of your sense organs, even thought you are conscious, ask yourself a question. Are you finding solace, shelter in your thought, your action, your speech? If you are finding certain solace, you shall be disturbed if the thought is not that thought, action is not that action. That is why when people become hooked into practices, if they cannot do, they feel so restless about it. Swamiji, today I didn't meditate, and my whole day is like that. Oh, I did not chant this mantra, I am feeling so restless about it. Hey, if you don't do exercise and you feel restless, I can understand. That is good for your body. Mental exercise, meditation is not something, an action to be done every day. You must see it for yourself. Yes, you can do that for some time until it becomes natural. But let not your practice be your drug, your addiction. Akarmani cha karmaya. When there is nothing is done, you are still at rest with yourself. Sabuddhiman manusya. Here Arjuna, Saiva Krishna karma. In fact, he has done all that is to be done in life. And we shall see more of it next day. Such as this is the attitude with which a person who functions in life. Read the next verse, which is also in next class. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagni dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam vudha. So beautiful. I don't feel like stopping. Yasya sarva. Yasya sarve samarambha. Who, with this attitude, whose all actions, kama varjita, sankalpa varjita, free from desires, desires, expectations, sankalpa varjita. Act because I can do, therefore I act. Jnanagni dagdha karman. Such a person who has burnt all his actions in the fire of knowledge. His actions begins tested in the fire of knowledge. His perception touched by the fire of knowledge. His thoughts touched by the fire of knowledge. Every action is touched by fire of knowledge. Like Agni Pariksha. You pass through the fire of knowledge. It's like passing the test. Tamahu Panditam Buddha. Hey Arjuna, Buddha, wise people call such a person Pandita. Pandita means Panda Brahmavidyasi asti, such a person wise, whose action is free from any desires. And desires means what, as I told you, whose action, who acts without depending on the result of action for his satisfaction or happiness. And why is he acting? Action for action's sake. I am immortal, ever existent, living for living's sake. For some time you breathe it out. Life passes. Your living is a meditation. What to talk of little bit actions while living. We'll see more of it. Let's close.